So hello, good evening, afternoon. Just recovering here at home after my surgery. Think I need more couple of weeks. And just turn this on to contribute also to some topics going on today back in my country in Kenya. First of all, before I continue, I want to say hello wherever you are watching, and I'm going by the name of Babu Vlogs, BMBAVU Vlogs. That's my YouTube channel. Please, you can watch and share, and consider to subscribe also. Yeah, so that's one of very hot topics going on in Kenya. For a couple of, I think almost a month, our former deputy president, who was impeached last year, visited America. I think kind of like meeting friends, family and friends, politically. Because you know, the diaspora, it's a big team. It's quite a big population living abroad. And so there's been a lot of anxiety back home since the security apparatus decided, they will start giving some propaganda, or I think selling fear that when it's getting back, he will get arrested and taken to court. And the guy has a huge following back there, so it's really not something to joke around with. And I think he got back today. So he stated categorically that he won't buy the fear that he cannot go back home. And he said he will give the schedule of the flight and time of arrival. So if they want, they can arrest him and, prosecute him. So I think it's the normal politics that has been going on and off in Kenya since elections in 2022. And that's been giving badly a lot of disability matters economics, because businesses are doing bad and so forth. But that's beside the point. That I think the guy arrived today. I haven't seen him getting arrested, or did they even bother to do it, or was it just selling fear to him? And the fact that now the president also, I think it's outside of the country, so a little bit of tension here and there, but I don't think it's a big deal. But from what's giving a lot of tension around, that it might cause a little bit of mayhem. So everything is going well. I don't know how long will this continue, but our politics is getting so diluted, and there's no concrete kind of leadership in the whole country. So it's something to worry about, and a lot of people really feel a very big pinch economically. They say it's very hard. I personally visited Kenya this year around February, March, and I noticed how expensive really it is. And for the people who are not really employed, no income, you know, hand to mouth, and I think it's really challenging, and it has gone on and on for a very long time since elections 2022. So we wait and see what happens, but we wish that they don't give a lot of pollution with its politics or differences between the former vice president and the current regime, make it like a big deal. And whenever they start this kind of nonsense, if I should say, the normal citizens won't go through hardships, and there has been really the cases of killing the youths, the police shooting and things like those. So we really hope this doesn't get as worse as it could get. But from my perspective, I think it's just playing politics, and the former vice president playing politics every day to stay relevant, because our next election is in 2027. So I think they are trying to hold that grip as opposition to make sure they are in a better position in coming elections. But having said that, I think it's a big challenge to people, politicking from the day one when they were sworn in. After elections, they are still doing it. The real development, issues are kind of like put aside. You can't really tell what is happening. But those are kind of challenges that we face, like African people, African countries. Most of times there's no honesty, or after elections, people try to dump everything that they really campaigned and promised, and they engage to their agendas, their Indian agendas that are not shown anywhere during political campaigns. And by that I mean manifestos that they really show while campaigning for the seats. I think it's a culture that has went for a very long time since independence, and I think since Kenya got independence in 1963, it has been the trend across all regimes that has been in place, and it cuts across from top to the lowest of the leadership you can imagine. And it's really seriously affecting day-to-day affairs of normal citizens. Something that we wish, or myself, I would wish that one day it will come to an end, because over 60 years of independence, we lack a lot of things, not because we don't work as citizenry, but people work so hard that I'm talking now in diaspora in Finland and many more that are living in here. We really try to support our families back home, take kids to school, and even after that, there's no jobs around, there's no proper industrialization, for those young people to get employment. So it's really tough and a challenge, and I personally would wish that this one day comes to an end, And to an end means, just the leadership, probably from the top, to have this one leader who will decide, enough has been enough. And citizens really, should be looked after, or the institutions must work. And I don't think it's lack of, capabilities across the political, elite. It's more like corruption has been a thing. Like people just get elected, and when they go there, what they want is loot money or steal money. In their clear mind or intentions, they know, like that's what they intend to do. But when they are politicking and trying to look for the seats, they will speak all manner of big and good English, but at the end of the day, there's nothing coming out of it. So yeah, let's see what odds on to our political, class and to our citizens back in Kenya. But luckily, and what I'm happy about at this time and point is that a lot of young people, because Kenyan population around 67% is youth or young people below age of 40. So those are people who are really educated, and they can see what is happening around the world. Nowadays the internet made the world look like a village, or seem like a village, because people know what is happening around the globe. So the kind of fooling I'm happy, the kind of fooling that has been happening earlier and before with across the regimes and political class, I think it's expiring, or it has expired already, or its time is up. And leaders are noticing that now if we don't change, the change will be forced upon us. And I mean, young people are waking up and saying, if it's enough, it's enough, and if we need to demonstrate or, use our constitutional means, legal means to demand for our rights, it has to work, and it has to work right now. So yeah, that's partly what I'm happy about, and hoping that we don't get more waves of this confusion or what has been happening, during campaigns and big elections, and mostly the presidential elections. It's a lot of money being given to youths, and in form of direct bribe. So many people, even if they had their conscious mind, they end up being confused, voting for the wrong candidates and things like that. So, but I really hope that this time around, in coming next elections, we would see change, and at least if we can get a good leadership there on top, then things would change. Because if the leader from top says and shows the leadership by actually practicing it and doing it, I think in that way many people will change. Because nowadays there has been this thing about when a president goes to that seat, first of all he will make sure he swallows the opposition. So when you kill opposition, and through parliament where they make all laws, he leads by what he says. and what it says is what it goes in every day's life, So hopefully this thing might change, and we hope for the change. And also I really wish also this guy who is fighting so hard and after being impeached and saying that he was impeached wrongly. I really hope even himself, when he gets there, he will do a good job and probably change, the dynamics of our politics and the leadership in our whole. So yes, I think that's my 1 cent opinion and input. But as citizens, we really wish that this thing gets better, because where we live, reside here, abroad, we see we don't mean that they are quite accurate, or leaders here, all of them quite clean, no corruption, but at least when there is less corruption across all institutions, that common citizen would get those services, and that's roads, education, and many other basic and important things in our lives. So we really advocate for the change and for good governance and corruption free, so that as our country can move forward, and as our society, because for example, when I go from here and I go back home and see how people are suffering, how hard it is. Kids cannot go to school, people don't afford school fees. It's very hard when someone has just a normal curable disease, they are suffering, they need to pay. Even though everyone pays taxes, it's really heartbreaking. But for them better, we wish. Yeah, and hope they stop this politics of of conmanship. Yeah, so that's my 1 cent opinion, and I will keep you updated.